audience.
Basically what we've done here, you've never seen one in the flesh, right?
Not in the flesh.
Okay, cool.
No.
So what we've done is basically we've replaced the five sort of like the kind of keys that you get with a regular keyboard. And the thing about the regular keys is that you only have one dimension of touch. So you only have like, you activate the note dies, and then you lift your finger and you have to activate it again. Some keyboards have aftertouch, but again, it's just really one or two different ways of interacting with the surface. With this, what we've got is a continuous surface, which is made from kind of this soft silicon.
I just did that. Any one of you can do that.
The benefit of that is that we have what we call five dimensions, five different ways that you can interact with the surface. Those 5 ways are velocity, or strike,
any producer, any music producer,
see how hard I'm hitting it there. We have glide, which is the horizontal movement on any note. And that allows us to do things like pitch bend per note, vibratos. So I can do vibratos here, or I can use the ribbons to do the glissando.
On time, on
so you can really play it like a violin or a guitar in that way.
It's got everything you want, anything you can imagine, far beyond. The possibilities of this thing are endless.
Add a bowing effect.
I've been learning to play this instrument for the last week. I'm a guitar player and performer.
We have pressure.
And I've been my mind boggled.
So, for example, on a flute sound, I can literally breathe into the flute
it's just
with the slightest touch,
amazing
and then control my breath articulation as I breathe into it or breathe out of it. And then my favourite is lift, which actually allows me to modulate a number of parameters, whether it effects or sound parameters, based on the speed at which I lift my finger from the key. So if you imagine like a double bass, it's really like emulating the part of a double bass on the string. So, and in more synthetic sounds, you could add like reverb or delay and control the way that reverb or delay resonates as you lift your finger, depending on the speed of your lift. So that's a per finger thing. So we have these 5 dimensions of touch per note, per finger.
Practically speaking, how many fingers do you find you can realistically apply these effects to at the same time?
I mean, obviously it depends on the player, but actually we have 10 fingers and we can apply them to all 10 if you have the skills to do so. But practically speaking, what most people like to do maybe with organic sounds, for example, are like, you know, again, like a traditional violinist or somebody might do, you play like a section, you play a chord here, and then you maybe want to add some vibrato on a lead violin, or transition from a violin to a horn section, or so you know you can really kind of you really shape the sound with your fingers in something more synthetic. We have a cool bass sound which I like quite a lot called Funk Box, which basically you know modulates things like distortion and kind of like a vocoder effect as I slide my finger up. And then as I use the glissandos, it's really like kind of creating this like ripping effect, which is really awesome. So you can do those types of things. You can apply arpeggiation, the pressure. So you can really kind of get creative with it. And there really are no limits with Equator, which is our software synthesizer that ships with it. So it controls that. It also controls all of your favorite synths like Omnisphere or Contact. So you can use it to really get more expression out of the sounds that you haven't previously. Learn Soft Synth also works as a VST and audio unit, and it ships for Windows and Mac. And that's a free download for anybody who buys any of our instruments. So the ease of use for somebody who hasn't ever kind of had this amount of control and modulation and things is really simple. Rather than, I mean, we have the traditional kind of modulation list of any traditional synthesizer, but we've also got this modulation panel where we've tried to make it a little bit more visual. If I go to the zoomed version, you'll see basically those 5 dimensions of touch that Ronan was just talking about. Strike, which is velocity, glide, which is the horizontal movement on any individual key or on the ribbons, slide, which is the vertical movement up and down, press, which is pressure, and lift. All of those 5 dimensions of touch can be applied to any sound parameter or sound effect or mixer in the synth. So simply by clicking, let's say, press, I can see right now, as you see the orange ring around the software, around the pressure dimension, you'll see that here the orange corresponds to everything you see on the dial. So you can see that I'm controlling a bit of the level of this sample, cut off on that one and level on this one. So now, as I apply pressure, you'll see without lifting my finger, I'm controlling the rev, if you like, on that parameter. If I wanted to add an additional one or control something else, let's say I wanted to add some coarseness to this, right? I simply just click and drag to add modulation to that as well, or a modulation range. And now, as I apply pressure, you'll see it's controlling the stuff it was previously controlling, but it's also now controlling the coarseness of that sound. And that applies to absolutely anything, any type. entire system.
A couple of these
So you can have so much power from just one simple gesture, one single note.
So the D28
That you can really bring,
is inspired by
instrumentation to life. Just to kind of put it into context, like to play some of these patches, like the strings and horse patch, it would take you hours and hours of like tweaking knobs and applying automation.
We're familiar with that.
So so it's like you really have it at your fingertips here, and it's great because you can lay down an idea in a much more expressive way. Some artists like A.R. Rahman, the Indian composer, has actually he used to just like bring in a flautist to kind of like layer over his synth flute when he had this idea. Now he can literally control the breath articulation right from his fingers. So as long as he's got a really good sample, he's able to just do that if he's on a tight deadline, So,
Finally put those flutists out of work. They've been riding too
he's
hard.
got access to a heck of a lot of amazing flutists. So he likes to do a bit of what we call in the Eastern music jugalbandi, or like back and forth with a lot of those live musicians now with this, because he can really go to town on challenging them with his own expression on the keys,
Suppose I want to map these controllers to just your standard MIDI control.
Some of you guys will know, the concept of the Seaboard is that it gives you 5 dimensions of touch. Most keyboards give you 1 dimension, which is from piano to forte. And it's a great dimension, and the keyboard has been one of the most awesome instruments for the last 400 years. But with the Seaboard, we've added 4 more dimensions of touch. So it's not just the way you strike the key, it's also how you press into the key, how you slide along the key, how you glide left to right along the key waves, and then how you lift off the key. So you can play the Seaboard just the way you would play a keyboard, for example. And Marco Parisi is going to demonstrate for us. So pretty much everything you can do with a keyboard, you can do with the Seaboard. And then with the Seaboard, you can also use that glide capability to make it sound like instruments where pitch bend is a big part of their sonic signature. So with a guitar, for example, or a bass, if you play them with a keyboard, they might sound a little bit lame, but if you play them with a Seaboard, they'll really come to life. Thank you very much. That's Marco Parisi. So one or two things and then wrap up. You can also use like the dimension of press, for example, to really like press into the sound the way you would breathe into a wind instrument or a reed instrument. So as you guys know, like saxophones is very difficult to play well on a keyboard, but on the Seaboard, you can take it to the next level. Thank you. So that's Sample Modeling's sound engine, but again, with the Seaboard, it really comes to life. So you can use this also with all different kinds of electronic sounds and other sounds. You can model those dimensions of touch, almost like you're playing the keyboard and controlling all the knobs and sliders you would on a synth, all at the same time. So the Seaboard is now available. It's $1199. It's at many leading retailers around the world. It's also available from Roli.com. And if you're interested in the Seaboard, please come to our booth 206A to learn more. And also check out our Noise app, which is available for free on the App Store. And you get all of these 5 dimensions of touch if you have an iPhone 6s. And you can begin to also explore our proprietary sound engine, Equator. So check out what we're doing at Roli.com and check out the Seaboard Rise 49 because we think this is going to make a big impact in 2016. Thank you all very much.